You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. Coming up later in the program, we have this thing called Tuesdays with Charlie, but we have another senile man we talked to this time of day. I'm just teasing. We have Dan for our bonus hour. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad you brought that up. There was just some study that came out, and it basically had to do with elderly folks around the country.
Yeah.
Elderly folks, whatever that means anymore. Did you know the median age for somebody checking into like an assisted living or a retirement community?
No.
For years everybody think, well, it's got to be like
something?
your mid-60s. It's like 82 or 83 years old.
I wouldn't
That's
doubt
the
that.
average age anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. 80-something. I just watched a movie that my wife wouldn't watch with me. She also unfriended me on Facebook. It's called The Last Laugh, and it's Chevy Chase and Richard Dreyfuss, and it's actually a pretty cute movie. There were parts of it where I was like, oh, they could have edited like maybe 20, 30 minutes out of this movie. But it was, all in all, very, very funny. And it showed them at a retirement community in the beginning of the movie. So, fun stuff.
Yeah, what's interesting is it's getting later and later. Well, of course, modern medicine is just that. It's prolonging life and everything. For instance, my mother just turned 85.
Yeah.
She lives on her own, but still drives around the Twin Cities. Nobody else should. Driving a Lincoln. Just get out of the way.
Just steer clear of the Lincolns.
Get out of the way. But yeah, living on their own and healthy in South Dakota, apparently, older people are kind of out healthing other people the same age kind of around the country, which is a good thing. Yeah, so South Dakota, I think per capita now has the most people yelling at kids to stay off their lawns.
You know what? I maybe shouldn't admit this, but I have actually said that to a child. Remember when we lived?
You have. I'm
and
like, how old
this
are
was 15 years ago, too. So it was well, there were these kids. They kept walking through our backyard.
So what?
But here was my concern. My concern was if they got hurt in my backyard, they're, litigious society, they're coming after me.
Okay.
But these kids would cut through our backyard to go home.
Okay.
And he's outside screaming.
Like, hey, stay out of my yard. Off my lawn, little kids.
What in the
What do you
world?
got, like landmines back there or what? Get hurt on what?
Oh, anything?
Got a moat? Crocodiles?
The crocodiles. Those darn crocodiles.
Instead, I just fenced in
We
the
lost
yard.
3 kids last week. Not taking any chances.
I built a dang wall is what I did. So put up a barrier. It was just a barrier. But those kids stayed off my darn lawn after that, Dan.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you were then forth known as Old Man Small.
Old man.
Watch out for Old Man Small.
That was 15 years ago. I was in my late 20s. Hey, I'm just a early bloomer, that's all. All right, coming up, we've got men doing manly things. Also, water cooler talk and some entertainment news of the day. It's all on the way during this bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Excuse me, haven't I seen you on the MTV?
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. Time now for Manly Men doing manly things in a manly fashion with Dan Farris.
Started a poker game years ago.
Yeah.
Card game still on occasion, maybe 2-3 times a year, still goes on. Some of the same players are still at that table. That game is now in its 29th year.
Oh, wow.
I love poker.
But here's the manly man tip.
Yeah.
How to play poker and how to shuffle a deck of cards. Now, this really hits close to home. Over Thanksgiving, took a little trip to Florida to meet my new granddaughter, play with my grandson, hang out with my daughter, my son, and my son-in-law. One of the nights we were there, my son-in-law says, "Hey, who's down for some poker?" I said, "Me." My son said, "Me." Now, those guys are in their 20s. My son and son-in-law are in their 20s. It's just going to be a 3-way game, me and them.
Right.
So Taylor, my son-in-law, is struggling with a deck of cards.
Uh-oh.
Now, keep in mind, he said, "Who wants to play poker?"
Sure.
So I just assumed he knows how to play poker. Between the two of them, my son and son-in-law, they knew how to play Texas Hold'em. That was all they knew how to play.
Okay.
They didn't know what they were doing with the cards, but I just, sat there and played for a while. And finally, I said, "So
So you cleaned them out, is what you
Do
did.
you guys want to play
guys wanna
poker? Or and I grabbed the cards and started going, and both of them went at the same time. We're screwed. and they were correct.
So you taught him a thing or two, is what you're saying?
I didn't teach them anything. I just took them.
I remember going to Mexico, and we went to a resort for our first anniversary. So this is 18 years ago. I had never played blackjack before. So we're sitting next to the pool, and this lady comes over and says, "Hey, we have a blackjack tournament. You guys want to play?" And I was like, I don't know how to do that. "Oh, we'll teach you." And then I won the tournament.
Sometimes. I have seen that
cool.
happen over the years, too.
I won a bottle of tequila in a plastic bottle.
Blackjack is
the best tequila comes in a plastic
there
bottle.
is some skill involved in blackjack, but it really is a matter of
luck of the draw.
What
Yeah.
card is going to come up next? Poker, there's a lot of skill involved with poker, and you have to be able to make people think sometimes that you have something that you don't even have, so that they will all fold. Even if you didn't even have a pair of anything, you can still win if you're good.
But it all starts with
I thought of about 8 things to say while you were saying that I'm not going to say on the radio.
all starts with how you're shuffling those cards too.
Yeah.
What's going on? You know your stuff or not? So
So learn how to
go.
shuffle.
Manly men doing manly things in a manly fashion. A lot of times it's the little things, boys.
It is indeed. Coming up, we've got water cooler talk. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to Sunny 93.3.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris
You heard it on your Walkman radio?
on Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Time now for water cooler talk, brought to you by Aqua One. We've got Dan Farris here with some breaking news.
That breaking news. This story's been going on for years and years. And I thought it was done, but it's back in the news again. You recall the saga with what was deemed the Monster House over across the street from McKinnon Park.
Yeah, the one they knocked down.
Yeah.
Monster House. My own little piece of that is I happened to be renting a house about 3 blocks down the street when that house was being constructed, the Monster House.
right.
And I can recall driving by it almost daily, and I would look over, and I mean, I'm not a contractor. I've never been in construction, but I could just look over. I'm going, something's not right with this.
Yeah.
It just looked just not right, and that's
Too
all.
big,
Until
too-
the whole thing turned into it's encroaching here and encroaching
Yeah,
there.
it was-
So as you know, that beautiful home got torn down. Finally,
It was really sad that happened, but yeah, I remember that.
it was what it was, and that lot is now on the market.
I saw that.
lot. It's a whopping 0.23 acres of land.
Okay.
Just seriously,
sliver.
Guess a price.
Yeah.
Guess a price, guys. Heidi, what do you think?
Way too much. I'm gonna
0.23 acres of land.
$100,000.
About a
I'm
quarter
going to
acre.
say
not quite.
85,000.
Okay, and you say, John?
I said 100,000.
And you both are losers. $600,000.
Are you kidding
Unless
me?
I'm misreading this out of the Argus Leader.
Wow.
That's what we've got there.
Huh.
They're probably just trying to recoup their losses.
They lost way more than that. Well, I just
there's
can't
no
even
way.
imagine.
There's no way that will sell for that. No way.
Well, I talked to a guy that had his plan for that land. He was saying that what he would do is buy the ugliest, junkiest vehicles he could possibly find and just park all of those on there and store them with license plates so you could keep them there.
Of course, it's a historical district. I guess, what would you do? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just said, I'm glad it was not me.
But I really wonder who would shell out over $500,000 just for a quarter acre, and not quite a quarter acre. Haig Brothers is handling it, but you know what? I guess somebody would. I mean, McKinnon Park's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a neat area, but I don't know. There's a lot of places you could build a cool home. And for me, I would be concerned if
I'd
the
be
neighbors...
concerned about those neighbors.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
nothing
You mean the
against-
ones directly on the north there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Quit referring to those neighbors. We don't know them, and we don't dislike them. So
Yeah, but in their defense, if that were my home, the one
I understand.
I would have been
Shouldn't
pretty
they have
cranked
said something
too.
when it started
I
being
get-
framed? I mean,
well-
why wait until the whole home was... You know what I mean?
let's not get in the
I don't
middle of
know.
I
this.
have
I mean,
no idea.
This was
I have no clue. That just seems... I don't
We're
know.
not taking sides here.
I don't have a dog in this fight. I just thought $600,000 was
seems
a
a bit-
little
it's a
steep.
big
It's
bite.
very steep.
It's a big bite. We're going to move on before we upset someone. Oh, too late? Sorry about that. Thanks for listening to Water Cooler Talk. We've got entertainment news of the day on the way.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris
What is that thing you're doing?
It's technical. It's one of our little toys.
on Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. It is time for some entertainment news of the day with Dan Farris. And what do we have for entertainment news, Dan? Entertain me.
Well, two of my favorite celebrities, and I have many because celebrities are fabulous.
I have that written down now. So
Chris Pratt is
Yeah, I
all
like
over
him.
the news. He's engaged now to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter,
I saw that.
That's amazing.
Catherine
That's cool.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep, but he was married for 7 or 8 years to Anna Farris,
Yes.
who I just
She was also
relation.
adorable.
She spells her last name wrong.
Yeah.
Come on, Anna, shell out for another R. just one more R. So you would think, like a lot of celebrity couples, or just a lot of couples in general, I mean, they are divorced, he's getting remarried, maybe Anna be a little bitter, a little cranky, a little testy. No, she has offered to officiate the wedding.
Oh, how
She
great
happens,
is
she happens to be
that?
a minister, apparently.
Wow. I did
That
not know
is
this.
so great.
Yep. So, yeah, she just sent him a message going, hey, congratulations, I'd be happy to officiate for you.
Can you imagine most ex-wives officiating for their ex-husbands knew that usually wouldn't go down good? That'd be a bad
A lot of
deal.
dynamics there.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I can't
pretty
go down
cool,
well,
though.
I think
get
is the
over
right way to
having
say
to
that.
ask the Terminator for his blessings.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder how
But
that
they're
went
all, both of them are very, very good Christian people, and I think that when they divorced, it was an amicable, good separation, and I think they're very good friends still. So why would she not want to support him in his future happy endeavors? I think it's wonderful.
Yeah,
It
and
is
they,
really
they do have a son together, a 6-year-old Jack, Anna
Yeah.
and Chris.
I
and
think
of
that's
course,
great. I
Jack
love
Pratt.
that.
Catherine's dad is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mom is Shriver. What's her name? Shriver?
Maria.
Maria Shriver. Eat a ham sandwich, Maria.
Right?
Big ham sandwich. With all the fixins.
All right. This has been entertainment news.
It
There are
has.
times I just sit here and wonder, how long is it going to take before this show is not on the air anymore? What's going to be the thing?
In my defense, I told you guys when you approached me about this, I said, that is such a lapse in judgment on your part.
So we're kind of...
He's had me on the radio for
know.
years, so he's pretty.
This whole experiment that we have going here is going to blow up in my face. Some people experiment with beakers and test tubes and such. I have Dan and Heidi. All right, entertainment news. All wrapped up. Time to say goodbye to Dan. Have a good day, sir.
Bye,
Hey,
Dan.
you guys too. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We've got coming up later in the program, we've got Tuesdays with Charlie. That'll be here before you know it.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris
By the way, why are we wearing bras on our heads?
on Sunny 93.3.